Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. This one is going to be a unique episode because this is a continuation of the last episode, which you should have seen. It is the Ring, the Stone of Jordan. Now, with the Stone of Jordan comes a very special item which you can only obtain through the process of using Soges. And in that video, I obtained this particular item, which is the one we are going to be talking about today. It is the unique charm, the small charm, known as the Annihilus Charm. The Annihilus Charm is a very special charm that is only obtained through killing Diablo Clone, who is nicknamed Diablo Clone. His real name is Uber Diablo. The reason why people stopped calling him Uber Diablo is because he was confused with the Uber Tristram zone, which, believe it or not, the Diablo that is in Uber Tristram is named Pandemonium Diablo. I know, confusing, right? So instead of calling Uber Diablo, we just simply call him Dclone. So hope that clears that up. Now, when you kill Dclone by selling Soges to the NPC, that's an oversimplification, isn't it? You sell Soges to the NPC. In single player, it is 1, and in multiplayer, it is 75 to 150, although I think it varies, to the NPC, and Diablo will walk the earth. And if you kill Diablo will drop you an Annihilus Charm. Dclone will spawn at the first super unique monster that you encounter once the words Diablo walks the earth appears on the screen. Like I said, if you want to see me kill Uber Diablo, I went ahead and I did that in the Soge video. So here we have the Annihilus Charm, and the Annihilus Charm has some very, very nice stats on it, but it also has quite a large number of variables. And it also has an interesting story to it. So the Annihilus Charm was actually created for the purpose of getting rid of Soges. The Soges were being duplicated in such a large number and exceedingly to the point where literally Soges had become the currency, like as if gold coins. Like you just reach into your pocket and pull out like 10 gold coins and pop them on the table, which is absolutely silly. So the developers decided that they wanted to do something about the duping. And what they decided to do was create a system where you had to forcibly destroy Soges to summon forth Diablo Clone. And in doing so, you would get yourself the Annihilus Charm. So they had created an object which would be so well sought after that people would be willing to destroy their ill-gotten gains. Because they did not want to take it from people. The issue is that when Soges were duplicated, they would not be able to tell the difference between the duplicated and the unduplicated Soges. They did eventually fix this issue by utilizing the unique item identifiers, which they put inside the game. The unique item identifiers would mean that if one item was labeled AXX9 and you had another Soge that was also labeled AXX9, these two were considered dupes because only one unique identifier could be on one item. It could not be on two. And once they did this, the Soge duping problem really started to diminish. However, the original duped Soges that were still in the economy were terrible, and still became an issue. So after the dupe problem was fixed, people still summoned forth Annihilus, or the Dclone, to get the Annihilus Charm, and to do so, they would have to pool their resources because nobody usually has 150 Soges laying around. Basically how it works is you get like 150, like 75 to 150 people to donate anywhere between 1 to 2 Soges apiece, and then you proceed to sell them to the NPC, and you can get a large number of Dclones to spawn because you get one in every single game, which is linked to the selling of the Soges. So you know, if you were to sell 150 Soges, there is a great possibility you could end up with 200 to 300 Annihilus Charms if you have 200 to 300 people in those games connected to the selling of the Soges. Anyway, enough about the Dclone and selling Soges. Let's talk about the Annihilus Charm and what the Annihilus Charm is good for. So the Annihilus Charm spawns with a level 70 requirements. So you're not really going to be able to use this until much later on in the game. It has +1 to all skills always, which is absolutely great because it will beef up things like CTA and crit strike on peace and all sorts of interesting things like that. We get 11 to all attributes. Now this is a variable, so it's anywhere between 10 to 20. And the variable has been something that is under hot contestation. So people love to try and find Annihilus Charms that are as close to perfect as possible. And we have 3 different variables on this. So the attributes vary from 10 to 20. The resistances vary from 10 to 20. And the experience points gains vary from 5 to 10%. Now, this particular item is so well sought after because of its massive bonuses. Not only does it give you a very decent amount of resistances, it gives you nice strength so you can utilize more equipment. It gives you the experience gain so you can level up faster, and the plus to skills. It's just an amazing item all around. Now, the experience points bonus is probably one of the most important things because there are very few items in the game that give experience points bonuses. Ondol's Wisdom, which is an item that I've already covered, also gives 5% EXP gain. And I believe you can actually combine them together to get more EXP gain. But if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong about this, so feel free to correct me, I believe 10% is the cap on EXP gain. I would also be amiss if I did not cover the myth revolving around EXP gain being stolen from other players. So apparently, if you have an Annihilus Charm in your inventory and you're in a game EXPing with other people, you are essentially stealing that 7% from them. And I have researched this extensively, and basically what I've come across is this. It is a yes and a no. So if 2 people with Annihilus Charms are in a game, there is no EXP loss. If 1 person is in a game with an Annihilus Charm, there is. Apparently, it only happens on odd numbers. So if you are in an 8-player game and there are at least an even number of EXP item users, so Ondols or Annihilus Charm users, and you are in this game together in an even number, so it can be 2, 4, 6, or 8, there will be no EXP loss whatsoever. It is only when it occurs that there's only 1, 3, 5, or 7 in the game that it kind of takes EXP from other people, but it's really not even that much. It really isn't. Now, Annihilus Charm is useful for literally everybody, and it's small enough that most people will fit it into their equipment somehow. It would be really silly for me to go, oh, well, this charm is absolutely great for this character, and it's absolutely not great for this one, because honestly, who couldn't use +1 to all skills, +20 attributes, +20 all resistances, and 10% more EXP? It's just amazing. And with the advent of Diablo 2 Resurrected, you can now take the Annihilus Charm, put it into your shared stash, and you can log out to another character, and you can share it between multiple people. So for instance, say I wanted to put it on my sorceress for a little while. I could throw it in my shared stash, I hop over, and I can just grab the Annihilus Charm for myself, which means that you really only need 1 Annihilus Charm anymore. Back in the day, you might be a little bit hesitant of dropping your Annihilus Charm on the ground or trusting it to your buddy to trade back and forth between your characters. But with the advent of the shared stash, you can now share the Annihilus Charm easily enough that you really only need 1. Which might actually make you seek a perfect version even more, because, you know, then you could have 1 perfect Annihilus Charm on all of your characters. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and keep watching.